Yo, what up? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a 2005 film. It's rated PG and it's an hour and 55 minutes. Directed by Tim Burton. So I'm that person that literally has not seen a lot of Tim Burton movies. I know who Tim Burton is. I kind of understand his style. There is a lot of movies in general I need to catch up on, and Tim Burton, the fact that I know him and don't know a lot of his work is very wild. Looking at his picture, basically his profile picture on IMDb, man, he actually looks like one of the characters that he's actually doing movies for. Looking here, he worked on Dumbo. Since we're here right now, I'm actually going to put Dumbo on my watch list. But back to this movie, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We have Johnny Depp in this movie, the main actor. He's the star of this movie. And we also have another star who is Freddie Highmore, who plays Charlie Bucket. But Johnny Depp is mainly the box office star of this movie. This is a movie that I've heard of, probably seen the poster, but just haven't seen. There is an original one, if I'm not mistaken. The 1971 is the first one that came out, and then there's a new recent one, 2023. So there's a couple of these versions out there. This is based off a novel. With this movie right here, I would just start off by just saying the beginning opening credit scenes was something that I feel like it's a long lost art in movie making these days. The opening credits, nothing too crazy, but you know, there's animation, cool graphics, cool edits. That was just something that was just like, all right, cool. Good start right there. I do like how in the beginning of this movie, it kind of flew pretty fast. And I think the fact is a lot of stuff that we're watching in the beginning scenes is actually out of nowhere, very visually entertaining. Something that you wouldn't see on a normal daily basis. First 50 minutes of this movie, I was like, whoa, we're already at this part of the movie, and really good storytelling. I really enjoyed that there is a narrator in this movie, but they actually choose really good moments to actually have him say something. Do like how we understood what is going around that city and what this Willy Wonka world is all about. The lines in the beginning did make sense. I do like how a lot of the actors in the movie have all different tones, all have an accent to their voice projection, and I think it adds a lot of character to this movie. So going into the beginning flow of the movie, really like how right away it wasn't boring, it didn't drag. We really were anticipating to see Willy Wonka and see where is the story coming from. Did a good job on presentation. I think beginning first half you're not going to get bored because you're obviously going to see who is involved, and with the character Charlie, you're seeing how his family is part of the history of Willy Wonka's creation of this factory. When we got to Willy Wonka, good placement out of nowhere, kind of made you smile and laugh because of just this dude's in straight character mode. But Johnny Depp would put out a character mode where you're actually very in tune to it, and his performance is just going to grab you way more in. It's like literally watching a performance right in your face, like a Broadway live action type of performance. That's how I would describe Johnny Depp's performance in this movie. Is you can kind of feel like you're there watching this in person. Another actor doing a Willy Wonka, you'll kind of see that there will be a lot of awkward cringy moments, but Johnny Depp absolutely is showing why a lot of people in the main movie world, like the main bosses in the movie world, go for Johnny Depp. This dude literally could play any style role you want him. Badass role, cool gangster, classy mafia, whatever you want, to a Pirates of the Caribbean, to a lot of other roles that I'm still getting into that I know doesn't touch this. So this right here is just another role where you're seeing Johnny Depp shine again. Do like how it didn't right away introduce Willy Wonka or right away introduce that from a child he dealt with this. Really like the build up, really like how we understood that there is going to be 5 kids allowed to go into that chocolate factory, and I thought that made the adventure pretty good. Very weird world that we're in this one right here. Right when we got into the factory, we felt the anticipation with the characters, and then as a viewer, you know, you really wanted to go into this factory. Background story of Willy Wonka is interesting. You see a lot of just unique character costume design on just telling this story. So I think behind the scenes team, the background team, people involved on this costume design, set design, could literally imagine just having nothing but fun and creating something where you're like, just wait till the viewers see this. But overall, just costume design, the lines for Johnny Depp, the overall look, it's gonna make you want to look at more. While this movie progresses, he does a lot of awkward things in here where it's just like, whoa, that was kind of weird. He is a very weird psycho in this movie, and a lot of the stuff in here either is gonna make you want to get a lot of chocolate or make you look at him like, don't trust this type of dude. dude. There is moments with a lot of the other kids and the adults who were there as well where kind of made it a little bit awkward, especially like the line presentation, and you could see a lot of like just the darkness of how this movie was kind of being presented on just bringing children and then doing all these random stuff in this movie. It just made me think of the 1971 version and made me think about like the Wizard of Oz for some reason. Just like behind the scenes things that we just don't know about might have happened in this movie, but that's just my mind wandering there because this is like a creepy style movie. You got Tim Burton with that imaginary mind just taking it to places where it's just like shroom times 1,000. Either or, Willy Wonka's look, the factory, and all that match very well on just character vibe. When we see all the chocolate stuff in the beginning stages, for me, if I was a kid, I'll be like, I want everything. I want to eat this, I want to eat that. And the characters in this movie did do that. They did make you seem like you did want to go and grab anything because it was edible. But now being at an older age, I'm just like, oh, I wouldn't even want to touch none of this at all. Every section of that factory is very, very crazy, to be honest. I can only imagine how set design was actually done. Wish I was there on set to see how it was done. A lot of the stuff in there does look pretty cool, but then when you really look at it, you can see a lot of special effects. The Oompa Loompas look pretty hilarious, especially that one dude. So I thought they did a good job on just the world wise, editing wise, and just presentation wise. Pretty interesting the fact that a lot of the stuff in there is created by Willy Wonka, and the creation of those projects, the inventions, the uniqueness of those powers. A lot of people would want those powers now. So just the fact that this was put in this movie, very wild. The factory actually looked pretty enjoyable to actually probably just visit. I could see it being an amusement park or kind of being a maze. My favorite scene from being in the factory was definitely the squirrels. Top tier comedy, especially the close-up on the squirrel. I thought that was pretty funny. If you haven't seen it, I'll say go watch this movie. The sound and the music in this movie was definitely one of those moments where I just had to turn the volume a little bit down. It became one of those kind of torture vibes if you were in a black room. David Kelly, who plays Grandpa Joe, I think he was one of those shining characters in here. If you weren't going with Johnny Depp or Charlie, I think the Grandpa Joe was a shining character in here. And the whole family was. I think that was a part of the movie where I actually enjoyed a lot of the acting. That was like on screen, perfect acting vibe. After my watching the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 7 out of 10. So that's my movie review for the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.